Do you want to move your life forward in the most positive way using astrology? Then let's talk about the astrological patterns for June 2020. There is so much happening this month. I'm going to do my very best to condense this for the sake of this video, and I would invite you, if you want more details, to sign up for my newsletter. It's free. It's on my website. You can check it out because I'll go more in depth on these patterns in my newsletter. So let's begin to look at this incredibly dynamic month. First, Venus is going to be retrograde for nearly the entire month. It began the retrograde in May. It goes direct on June 25th. Venus retrograde in Gemini is giving us the opportunity to review our social connections with others. It gives us the chance to review how we communicate. And do we infuse love and beauty in our communication? It also allows us to just do a review of our relationship patterns. Do we have patterns in relationships? Do we want to change them? So please keep that in mind. And Venus is not the only planet retrograde. A lot of planets are in that review process, in the retrograde phase. So we're internalizing a lot right now. As a matter of fact, Mercury goes retrograde mid-month. I'll talk about that in a moment, adding one more layer of important internalization and review. The other thing we have going on for June is for the entire month, Jupiter and Pluto are traveling very close together in the conjunction. And this is a very expansive cycle. This is an opportunity to understand your own level of empowerment, because Jupiter and Pluto getting together says expand your sense of personal empowerment. Also for June, we have two eclipses. June 5th, a full moon, which is an eclipse. The full moon will be in Sagittarius. And during this time, there's going to be a very dynamic T-square configuration set up between the sun, the moon, and Neptune. You get to elevate your consciousness and move out of super strong opinions and move into objectivity. Sounds simple, right? But if we review back to the new moon, which was May 22nd, that's when you should have started this process, ideally, looking at being objective, looking at stepping outside of your own filters and your own bias, potentially. We all have bias. And at this full moon, also an eclipse, it's designed to help us get into that expansive mode and to have that sense of objectivity, to elevate above our own filters. So please celebrate that June 5th at the eclipse and open your consciousness. Mid-month, we have Mercury going retrograde in Cancer on June 18th, and it will stay retrograde until July 12th. You get to bring feeling into your affirmations, into your belief systems. You get to add that element of emotion so that you can manifest. But be ready for that review time. Remember, my favorite phrase is Mercury might be retrograde, but I'm not. Instead of thinking things are going to break, maybe you should think that you're going to have a breakthrough. That's a great way to anchor in good thoughts with the Mercury retrograde in any sign, anytime. And now for the biggest event of the month, June 21st, we have an eclipse. It's a new moon at 0 Cancer. And this is the solstice point. 0 Cancer is the beginning of the next season. And actually, the solstice was the night before on June 20th, late in the day. And this eclipse is taking place early in the morning on the 21st. So it's activating that solstice energy and that emergence into a new season. And this is called the Aries point, which has nothing to do with the sign Aries, by the way. It's talking about 0-degree cardinal and incredible visibility that happens at this time. Having an eclipse at the Aries point is always quite interesting, because what it's signaling is what needs to come to the surface for everyone to see, what needs to be revealed, what may come into public view. On a personal note, we need to ask ourselves, what are we willing to see about our own feelings, our own emotions, and our own emotional patterns? In the world, There could be some very interesting news being revealed. Maybe about this virus, maybe something with politics. We shall see, right? But be ready for this eclipse and engage with yourself in asking, what do I need to see about myself that needs to grow and change and develop at this time? 2 more important dates in June. June 25th is when Venus goes direct and ends the retrograde pattern. And it's going to stay in Gemini for a while longer, but this is when it finally moves into direct motion, and you're probably going to have some insight that comes up about your relationships at that time. And then the big whopper is June 28th, when Mars enters Aries. A lot of you who have been listening to my videos have heard me talking about the fact that this summer is going to be quite interesting. Mars is very strong in Aries. So at the end of June it enters, and July, August, September, all the way until January of 2021, it gets really juicy. I'm going to talk about that more in my newsletter. So tune into that or pay attention to the video next month, because it's too much to go into right now. So to summarize the astrological patterns for June, remember June 5th is the first eclipse, and that's the full moon in Sagittarius. And that is the very important time to gain some objectivity, to release intense attachment to opinions, to pay attention to your own bias, and to elevate your thoughts. June 18th, we have Mercury going retrograde in Cancer, staying retrograde until July 12th. During this time, we get to review the emotions that flow with our thinking, and we get to have breakthroughs and new thinking that produces positive results in the world. June 21st, we have that super important eclipse at 0 Cancer, the Aries point, which is a point of public visibility. Something wants to come into view. What will come into view for you with your emotional patterns, with your family, with your thinking? What do you need to see about yourself? And what will come into view in the world? Exciting, right? But you want to use these eclipses. This is a very dynamic month. Then just remember, June 25th, Venus goes retrograde, so we get all that Venusian blessing and beautiful energy moving forward. June 28th, Mars moves into Aries. It sounds ominous, but it's really not. This is going to be a high motivational summer for us. We all need to be ready. June is action-packed, and hopefully everything in the world will start moving forward as the lockdowns from the virus hopefully end, as life hopefully starts to return to normal, and all of our immune systems are charged and healthy and strong because we've taken such good care of ourselves, right? I wish you a happy, happy June. Thank you. I'm Kathy Rose.